Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Ben and I'm a self-taught web developer who went from zero to paid full stack in 8 months studying via the Odin project. And in today's video I'm going to be showing you the open source application that I started and has now been picked up by Ruby for Good and has a ton of contributors on and is in progress. And what it is essentially a pet adoption platform. And the backstory here is during COVID, I was studying web development and I adopted a dog. And I felt the process for adopting a dog was very painful. Everybody was trying to adopt a dog during the pandemic. It was very hard to find dogs. And then when you did find a dog or a website, the application process felt really clunky. I had to fill out separate application forms for different dogs. And in many cases, I had to print off PDFs, write them out by hand, scan them in, send them off, very kind of old school technology. And in other places, I had to sign up and fill out digital forms for every dog. And it was just a lot of work, very frustrating as somebody who wants to go in and is really excited about adopting a pet and doing it efficiently and in a way that's enjoyable and smooth. And on the other end of that, you've got the adoption agencies that are having to deal with this clunky system and managing data and knowing which applications came from which person for which pet. It's just very clunky. It was very clunky. And so I thought, well, hey, I'm studying web development. I'm at the end of the Ruby on Rails path. I could build this clone of Facebook, or I could build a real production application that's a small dog adoption website. I chose to do the latter. I wanted something real. And my friend, he's a good buddy of mine, but I consider him my mentor when it comes to programming, especially in my early days. He's a Ruby on Rails developer. He said, build something real. Build a project that's going to impress people. Build something that you can show, hey, I built this and this is why, this is how I did it. It's really hard to get really passionate about a Facebook clone. But when you can get behind something that is a cause that you care about, that you're helping real world people with, there's far more passion involved in that, okay? And that will be demonstrated. It will exuberate from you when you're in an interview talking about this project. For example, if you're building a full stack application like this. But what I'll do is I will show you, this is the actual production site. It's not really anything crazy, special or anything like that. It's very basic, built in Ruby on Rails with Bootstrap. And this is Ruby on Rails 7, but I really didn't make much use of Hotwire with turbo streams, turbo frames, or anything like that. I kept it pretty simple. It doesn't behave much like a single page application or anything like that, other than the way Rails natively handles page loads with turbo links and stuff. But yeah, it was very simple. The only JavaScript I wrote was in Stimulus for a couple of forms with additional drop downs or character limit notifications and things like that. So very simple. Here it is, just a hero explaining who these people are, what they do. You can click on to see all the dogs. So these are all the dogs that need adopting right now from the Baja in Mexico. So if you're looking for a dog, please do check these guys out, especially if you're in North America or Canada. Some simple instructions on how to apply and about us, and then some more links that you can follow, and a call to action down here. So, a nice, simple homepage. And then there's different types of accounts. So you can become an adopter or you can become staff. And obviously the staff are vetted by this organization and anyone can become an adopter. I won't go into all of that right now, but what this does on the back end is it allows an organization to upload their dogs, have a physical or a digital presence on the web in one place, which is way better than having them on Facebook, Instagram, and all over the place. And adopters can sign up and make an application for a specific pet after filling out all the questions that the organization wants to have from them in a profile. That's it in a nutshell. This was my first production application, and as of today, I think it has about just over 200 users on there, and so far so good. It's done a lot to help the organization become more efficient and save time, which then allows them to actually go out and do the work that they care about, which is help rescue dogs. So this application ran for just about 8 months, and I reached out to Ruby for Good. If you're not familiar, Ruby for Good is a non-profit organization based in the States, and they do a lot of they have multiple projects on the go that are for good projects. So there's a couple. There's one for like a sanitary supplies management. There's one for fostering of children, and there's a couple of others as well. And I approached them and said, hey, I've got this pet adoption application. Are you interested in maybe picking it up and turning it into one of your projects? A few months later, they go back to me and said, yeah, hey, let's workshop this and see where we go. And now it is one of their projects. And this is what it looks like. This is just running on my local. But this is all still very much, this has to be worked on. This is all just using the base theme. But what it would be is a one-stop shop for small organizations that don't have the money or capacity to go out and build their own website, let alone have a working back end that will actually help them or enable them to CRUD on dogs and allow user sign-ups and authentication and authorization, and have foster and adopter management and reviewing their applications and things like that. Okay, this is a purpose-built application for pet fosters and adopters. This will become a landing page where we just say, hey, this is our platform. If you're an adoption agency or a foster agency, sign up with us because we have a free-to-use forever application for you. And so this is an example of one of the organizations. So we have the landing page here. You can see it's been changed around a little bit. This is obviously just placeholder stuff. We're not in the business of adopting spiders, not yet anyway. We have this will actually just become tiles of dogs or pets that are available for adoption. And like I said, this is not in production yet. This is still all in development. That's why there's a lot of placeholder stuff. We have some tiles here just to explain how to sign up. This will be a customizable About Us section where the organization can go in and they can upload their own images and their own text here to customize things. They'll also be able to do the same here on this hero image where they'll be able to have an image that matters for them, and they'll be able to update this hero text so it's branded for them as well. So it feels like it's their own website. And you'll note that we'll be scoping the base domain to this root here. So it's going to be scoped to the organization's name. This will be everything on here. This website will be scoped to Baja. And then if your organization is called ABC123, then your URL will be the domain /ABC123/home. So everyone will have their own unique URL as well. They could also point their own unique domains to this as well if they want to. Okay, and then looking where we've really spent a lot of time is on the back end of things. So if you're a staff, you can log in and you have a dashboard. And again, this is a work in progress. We have a lot more that's going to happen here in terms of telling the staff how many adoption applications they need to review or how many tasks on a specific pet are overdue. This is all just placeholder stuff, but a lot of the main work's been done on pets. So staff will have a pets table where they can come in, they can create a new pet if they want to, and then they'll see all their pets here that they can filter using these filters here. And if you click on a pet, this one's been adopted, so let's click on another one right here. So you see there's different tabs. There's an overview tab with some basic information that comes on the profile. There's a tasks tab, which is actually really handy. So now you can come in and you can create individual tasks on a pet. So you can call this task, I don't know, like get vaccine, something like that. And you can set a due date on here. So we'll say, let's do this next week. You can also make them recurring if you want to, but in this case, I will do that just for this demo. And you can create the task, okay? And it's now you've got this task here with a due date. And you can edit, you can delete these tasks, and you can mark them as complete. And you can see it's completed here in green, and you can turn showing completed on or off as well. So now we have individual tasks on a pet, which is also very helpful now because it helps an organization manage the workload that they have respective to each pet. And if you have pets coming in that have the same tasks every time, usually when you intake a new pet, there's maybe 5-10 tasks that have to be done. Certain vaccinations, certain medications, certain training things or whatever need to be done. So you can also set some default tasks as well in this section of the application, where every time a new pet's made, you now have these tasks automatically created. And this also does support due dates and recurring. And then on each pet as well, you can see the applications. This table needs a little tweaking in the UI. It's a little smushed together. But these are the people who have made an application on this pet to adopt the pet. So you can see, let me click through, and you can see this person's profile and their information, which will help the staff assess whether they're the right person for the dog. They can also keep notes on the pet as well. So, you know, if you're reviewing an application and there's something you want to make a note on for the future, you can keep those notes here as well. You can upload photos, and you can also manage files. And this is another really important thing, because there's a lot of medical files, for example, that come along with a pet. You want to make sure that all of their medical information is up to date and that you have digital copies of those things. And organizations are using Google Drive a lot for this kind of stuff. It gets clunky. You're having to share those things with Google Drive links. It's distributed. It's not kind of where you manage other things. It's another application you have to worry about. In this case now, staff can upload all of their files on a given pet in this section here. And then once an adopter who has signed up is now has adopted a pet, they have access to all of these files as well. So it's just a really easy way to share information and communicate as well. And the value here is we're allowing organizations to set up, they can manage their own staff, so they can invite people to become staff. They will also be able to do the same for fosterers. And with fosterers have a little bit more of a close relationship with staff, so they will have access to the information on each of these pets. So they will be able to see what tasks need doing while the pet's in foster. They will be able to see the files that are associated with that pet, so they have information about the pet. What else is there? So we can review all of the adoption applications on all pets. We can filter them out using these filters. We can set information on the organization. And there's other features that are being worked on, but you kind of get the gist now of what this back end is starting to look like for this application and how it's going to help adoption organizations out there. This is far more work than I ever would have been able to achieve by myself. So I'm so happy that this project got picked up as an open source project, and it's now just growing far beyond where I could have imagined it to ever be. And this is the repo here, just to give you a sense of we'll let you know where it lives, but also give you a sense of how many contributors we've had and how much activity that there is here. So the URL for this is github/rubyforgood/pet-rescue, and you will get to the repo here. You can see we've had 43 contributors to this so far, and a ton of commits, and we're making progress all the time. If you're interested in contributing to Ruby on Rails project, come to the issues here and see or find an issue that is good for you. I mean, these good first issues are always a good place to start, but if you're more comfortable, you can also pick up other issues as well. What else could I tell you about this? Other than, well, this has grown a lot. And what I will do is I will show you the original the original repo rather, which is right here. So this is the repo for the Baja Pet Rescue site, which I showed you at the beginning. You see I started that 2 years ago. This thing started off very simple. It started off with me not knowing very much about web development. I was very fresh into Ruby on Rails. I just reached the end of the Rails path and I wanted to build something real. And this is where I would say to you, if you want to stand out as a junior, build something real like this. This is what got me my internship, and my internship is what got me the job I have today. And now I have 2 years of web developer experience under my belt. So I'm no longer a junior who's fighting for that first position, right? And it's all because I built something real, tangible, and it was not complex. And that's the most important thing. Keep it simple, because scope will always creep anyway. You'll start with a simple idea and it will grow and become more complex. There will be edge cases you didn't consider that you have to handle. And then when you're talking about deployment and stakeholder feedback and all these things, a small project becomes much, much larger. But I highly recommend you do something. Keep it very simple. Solve a real problem with code and you will stand out. I had no idea when I started building this that it would even get to production. Okay, I was kind of self-doubting. Am I able to do this? I'm probably going to make a mistake somewhere. But I got it there. and I got this website up and running. We have now 85 adoptions through that Baja Pet Rescue website. And we'll probably reach 100 adoptions by the end of the season this year. That's a great feeling. But to now have this taken on by Ruby for Good, where I'm now a lead on that team, it is so much experience. Now I'm involved in product management, product development, and I'm learning from the people around me as well. And there's things I don't know, and I'm finding them out as I go. I make mistakes, and then I fix them. And I get to work with so many different developers, on something that means a lot to me and to them, and we know will help other people out there. This is just showing you how a simple idea that you execute can become so much more. Okay, there's no way 2 years ago I ever would have sat here saying I'm going to develop an open source project that has nearly 50 contributors and is going to be something that brings all these people together. I never thought it would get there, but I started with an idea and it just grew and grew, and I looked for opportunities and I executed. That's the most important thing you can do as a developer, is execute, because that's what companies care about, is the fact that you can execute. They don't give two shits if you are the best leak code developer out there, but you can't execute. That's not valuable. I'd way rather be a mediocre developer who's productive and can execute and problem solve and add value to a business than a top 1% developer who doesn't have the rest of those qualities, right? That's just me. I don't know what you think about that, but I think that that's going to be the differentiator that gets you a job. So I'm going to start a series on just showing you more videos about this project. If you're interested in this kind of stuff, please do let me know, because I'm not sure if this is the kind of thing that people really care about, but this is the closest you will see to what the real world development workflows look like in terms of what you would see in a company where you'd be paid as a developer, is an open source project like this. This is a SaaS product. It's a service to companies. A B2B service is what we're building here, and it's all in the open. And I plan to make more videos talking about when I write issues, when I review PRs, when I'm writing code, and just take you along on that journey. So let me know if you're interested in this kind of stuff, and I'll be happy to continue making those kinds of videos. That's the app. I just wanted to show you what it's all about. That's the intro to this app and this project. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.